Good evening and welcome to this year's Burning Bowl ceremony here in our Peace Garden at Unity Fort Worth. We welcome you who are here in person, parked up in our parking lot, and those who join us on our live stream for tonight. If you are parked and can hear us, give us a honk so we can all say hi. There you go, wonderful. Wonderful. We just heard some beautiful drumming. If you want to come and drum in the Peace Garden, we actually have some live drums here, and so feel free to do so. And as soon as we started drumming, the rain started. We were fine just until then, so we'll see how this all unfolds. We are so glad that you're here to celebrate one of two ceremonies that Unity celebrates worldwide. Today, we are releasing what no longer serves us, and this Sunday, we will pick up a new name for the new year during the Whitestone ceremony. Both rituals are symbols of the creative process of our divine nature, and we commemorate our ability to create our lives according to our innermost desires. Let us begin with our first song, God is My Source, sung by Beverly, who is with us here in person tonight.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need.
The first reading tonight is In Memoriam, Ring Out Wild Bells by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Ring out, wild bells, in the wild sky, the flying cloud, the frosty light. The year is dying in the night. Ring out, wild bells, and let him die. Ring out the old, ring in the new. Ring happy bells across the snow. The year is going, let him go. Ring out the false, ring in the true. Ring out the grief that saps the wind. For those that hear we no more see. Ring out the feud of rich and poor. Ring in redress to all mankind. Ring out a slowly dying cause and ancient forms of party strife. Ring in the nobler modes of life with sweeter manners, purer laws. Ring out the want, the care, the sin, the faithless coldness of the times. Ring out, my mournful rhymes, but ring the fuller minstrel in. Ring out false pride in place and blood, the civic slander and the spite. Ring in the love of truth and right. Ring in the common love of good. Ring out old shapes of foul disease. Ring out the narrowing lust of gold. Ring out the 1,000 wars of old. Ring in 1,000 years of peace. Ring in the valiant man and free, the larger heart, the kindlier hand. Ring out the darkness of the land. Ring in the Christ that is to be.
Let every action of mine be something beautiful for God. Let every action of mine be something beautiful for God. Peace and love in the simplest of this. Peace and love in the simplest of this. Let every action of mine be something beautiful for God. Let every action of mine be something beautiful for God. Peace and love
Thank you so much, Nancy, for sharing this wonderful piece. At this time, our precious volunteers will come around to you, to your cars, and also those who are in the Peace Garden and hand out papers, pens, and white stones for this Sunday. And once we are ready for the burning bowl ceremony, you will either have the option to step into the garden and let go of your release yourself in the fire, or have our volunteers come by your and pick it up to burn it for you. If you want that option, then please fold your paper twice to ensure privacy. We'll be using our offering pouches to make sure your release is yours alone. If we miss you for some reason, honk at us. Otherwise, I'm sure this will run just smoothly. And speaking of offering basket, if you would like to contribute to tonight's service or in general to our efforts to bring an uplifting message to this world, you can do so online by going to our website and click the donate button, leave us a check tonight or send it in later, or arrange for a cash donation with our office. There are many ways to give, and we appreciate your support. And now, for our second reading, we have Rebecca leading us.
A poem about letting go and letting ourselves truly enjoy being alive by Jennifer Williamson. I find myself wishing for what I think is right, but how can I know the secrets of life? If I keep clinging to what I know, I'll miss so much life. The one thing I see now is that holding on to control only drains me of life. It is a fight. What if I stop for a moment, just this one sliver in time, and put what I'm holding on hold? Maybe then I'll see that there's no need to look at life through a stained glass window. There's no need to cover my eyes from the way life is. Just for this one moment in time, I think I see how I've been keeping myself out of the light, how I've been holding on to the lonely gold of what I think is right for me, when in reality, how could I know the span of life? How can I know the depth of life when I've broken it up into pieces, hoping to be the maker? I cannot choke life into being what I want. I am not the maker of what I see, but I am charge of how it is seen. I do not renounce the world or what I see with my eyes, but I look upon what I see with new eyes. If I look from inside, I can see clearly that now I see what I see is all I need to control. Letting go of the ties that pull me away from peace, I hear the still space inside of me, and I see the truth through new eyes. Things can be different, but I am not all alone in my quest to see another way easier. If I release my weary struggle, I can stop grasping for the answer. I can stop wishing for someday. There's something else, a greater plan and a higher intelligence, and to it I say, help me let go of wishing so that my heart may match the heartbeat of a better way. Plant my feet firmly in the soil of today, reset my sight, so that from this moment I feel no need to stray. There's a call to let go of what's not meant for me to hold. Peace is what I want now. That's life's true gold. Every single moment of surrender is a peace treaty with my soul.
Water is nice. It cools your brow on a summer day. Water is sweet. Out of a canyon, it'll show the way.
Oh, 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 oh.
Water is life. The world would wither without oceans blue. Water is spring. Take a drink and be born anew. But
What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire.
wind is a kiss. flustered faces in the autumn air. Wind is a guide. Out of stillness, it'll fill your sail. Wind is a song. A summer storm will whistle all night long. Wind is a cry. Uprooting earth and making a forest strong. But what I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. There's a time to sit in silence by a mountain stream. There's a time to rise above my daily desire. There's a time when life is more than a private dream. Oh, it's time for fire.
Sing with us.
What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. Fire to smolder in my soul. Fire to make me lose control. Fire to burn my last regret. Fire to do what I don't dare yet. Fire to walk without a clue. Fire to tear my past in two. Fire to dive into the deep. Fire to force me from my sleep. Fire to turn these walls to dust. Fire to risk it all for love. Fire to see what no one sees. Fire to dream what no one dreams. Ah! What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really want is fire.
Thank you so much, as always, to the music team. But I want to especially acknowledge everyone who is here today who has contributed in volunteering and setting up and handing out and doing all that. Why don't we give them a huge applause with your honk right now? There you go. And if you're at home watching the live stream, just put some emojis in there so we can go back and look at that. And if at this point, for some reason, you haven't received a little piece of paper and pencil, give us a honk so we know that we have missed you. Doesn't look like it is the case. So wonderful. Everything works out. So I'm going to just get into a shorter message for tonight, not only because it's rainy and cold, because we really want to focus on the actual action of release. But I do want to talk a little bit about what this burning bowl ceremony really indicates and what it is about. And more importantly, to expand a little bit on what it means to release and bring in some of the unity teachings that are connected to that. As I mentioned before, there's two ceremonies that are basically celebrated in every unity church worldwide. We have about 1,000 unity churches worldwide. And I don't know of any Unity Church who would not do these two ceremonies. They're so essential to our teachings because they reflect a very important part of who we are, not only as human, but as spiritual beings. It reflects the release, the letting go, and then the picking up of something new. And what we mean by that is we're just simply letting go of the false, of that no longer serves us, so that we are really ready, almost like a blank slate, to pick something up. And I make sure that we can dive into that for tonight a little bit. And I'm going to use some of Charles Fillmore's writings. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, who wrote a lot about the different practices of different religions throughout the world, and especially the letting go, the release, is commonly used in every single religion, every spiritual practice. It's very common with just using a different language, and Unity also has its own language around that. So for example, you have, when you look up letting go in the Revealing Word that was written by Charles Fillmore, he writes that the letting go is an erasing from consciousness thoughts contrary to truth. And what that means is simply all those thoughts that we have that are not aligned with our true reality. And by true reality, I mean who we truly are. Not only human, but spiritual at the same time. Not just limited, but expansive and infinite at the same time. So we're learning to let go of those thoughts that are contradicting that reality. And another important part of letting go, especially in Unity, is to understand its connection to forgiveness. Forgiveness in Unity is defined as the process of giving up the false for the true, erasing sin and error from the mind and body. Again, you can see that we're talking about finding those things that really don't resonate with us anymore. And they might have resonated yesterday with us, or last year, or 10 years ago, and we may have, because it became a habit, continued to just habitually practice them, but probably for a while now, we may have learned or seen or intuited that they no longer serve us. It hurts us even sometimes, whether it's judgments and worries or regrets or forgiveness that we are supposed to do with ourselves or others. These are all these circumstances or these ideas or these practices that we need to look at. And tonight is the opportunity for us to look at those things that we do to ourselves and others that no longer are aligned with who we truly are. So then forgiveness, to me at least, becomes something really tangible. It's not this big thing that we need to do. When I hear that forgiveness is simply the giving up the false for the true, it makes it easier for me. It makes it easier for me to forgive myself for things I have done in my life. It makes it easier for me to forgive someone else, just understanding that whatever they may have done to me or I may have allowed them to do to me simply was at that time what they needed to do. However we get to the point of forgiveness, it is an important practice of release. And tonight you can actually use an opportunity to forgive either yourself or someone else or a community or a group or a country or the entire world. Whatever is ready for your heart or in your heart to forgive, tonight is the night to do so. And finally, connected to letting go and forgiveness is the practice of denial in Unity. Denial in Unity doesn't mean that we deny the reality that we experience. Denial in Unity means that we take away the power that we give to those falsehoods. Often we are consumed by our judgments and worries and fears and regrets. And we give a lot of power to them, a lot of attention. Much of our time every day is spent in finding ways to beat ourselves up in a lot of ways, and figuratively, hopefully, and just be in judgment with ourselves and others. So much time is spent that could be used otherwise. And what in Unity the denial does is simply a method of taking away the power, where we tell ourselves, I no longer give power to these thoughts and feelings I have that are no longer serving me. So we have the letting go, we have the forgiveness, we have the denial in Unity that really guides us in our spirituality, in simply understanding that sometimes in order to be able to grow and move forward and upward, we simply need to let go, and we need to move on from some of the things that we have done to ourselves over many years. And so when you ask yourself, well, how am I going to do this? Well, tonight we have a slip of paper. And again, you don't need to write a novel on that little slip of paper. That's why we kept it really small. All you need to do is to really focus with your thoughts and feelings on the things you want to let go, and maybe write a word that connects to that. You may write a word, a phrase, a sentence. You can keep it simple. You can release more than just one thing tonight. You can release something big, something small, something that's old, something that's new. Whatever comes to mind will be perfect for you. And I will guide us in a meditation just for a little bit later on, just to help us with this process just before we move into the burning bowl ceremony. But I do want to leave you with a couple of things about how do we practically apply this letting go, this forgiveness, and this denial, the taking away of the power of the negative. The act of forgiveness is truly a simple one. The act of letting go is simple. It's my guru showed us when I was in the ashram and the commune living there with Elaine. He would pick up his water bottle and he said, letting go is as simple as just opening your hand and let the water bottle drop onto the floor. And it was one of those big water bottles. So whenever he demonstrated that, it was a big thump that, had and kind of like almost shook the entire room when he did that. But it was such a great visual for me to see. Yeah, that's all it takes. I pick up the bottle, but rather than holding on to it, all I do is just let go of my grip a little bit. And that's the opportunity we have tonight, all of us, to simply let go of that grip a little bit and let it go. In Matthew chapter 6, verses 14 and 15, it is written that for if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. Now, again, we must understand that this is language from 2,000 years ago. Jesus chose to use the father figure, but he could have just as easily used the mother figure, because God is not a gender. God is not even a person, not even an entity. It's simply principle. It's simply infinite potential. Jesus understood that very well. But he also understood that if we are unable to forgive others, then we will never be forgiven, or we will never be able to forgive ourselves. It's not so much that God really forgives us because God doesn't do anything in his own right. We are part of that action. But by us learning to forgive others, we're actually learning at the same time to use that infinite potential that God represents in our oneness, in our lives, that we learn to express that forgiveness for ourselves as well. So you can do it in both ways tonight. You can forgive yourself, and learn to forgive others, or you can forgive others and learn to forgive yourself. It works both ways. In the same chapter in Matthew, verse 12 says, "And forgive us our debt as we also have forgiven our debtors." It's the same idea. We often walk around with the idea or an experience of being in debt, or sometimes we put other people in the position of being in debt to us. This is not what loving one another means. This is not what the original and pure teachings of Jesus Christ was, to love one another and love yourself. So tonight again, we have the opportunity to release our debt we have on ourselves and others, to let go of what no longer serves us, to forgive ourselves and others, and to simply take away the power we give to anything that is not truly who we are. And with that being said, let us just take a few moments in meditation, allowing ourselves to turn within, allowing our breath to guide our relaxation, the calming, the voice quieting, to find the silence within ourselves. As we breathe deeply, we're allowing the words that have been spoken tonight or sung tonight just to resonate. Whatever stuck is important. Whatever didn't stick, we can simply let go. So in our meditation tonight, we simply turn within and ask ourselves, what is it that I can let go tonight? That I can forgive? That I can take away the power that I usually give to, but I know it no longer serves me? We can breathe into that question and allow our own wisdom to give us the answer. And as you're hearing and listening to yourself, you may start writing on your piece of paper, and if you've already started, maybe add to it, or simply affirm what's already written. Allow yourself to relax even more, to calm your mind and find the peace that passes all understanding. Know that you are divine, that you share the same power and glory that you share with your fellow humans. We're all in many ways the same, and yet we're beautifully unique. And so whatever it is that we are ready to let go, it is ours to do without any judgment from anyone else. As we remember who we truly are and why we have come here tonight, either in person, by car, or while watching the live stream right now, we're all one community. We're all here to help us in this process of forgiveness, and of release, and letting go. So in gratitude, we simply imagine each other. As I look around in the Peace Garden and see the people standing and freezing and holding umbrellas, and those who are sitting in their cars, and imagine those who are sitting comfortably at home watching the live stream. We just imagine all of us to be together, cozy in our sanctuary or wherever we are comfortable. And together we find that gratitude in our hearts and let our hearts and minds expand together in harmony so that we may find the power that is within us to release and to let go. And with that in our hearts, burning as the fire of the burning bowl, we say thank you, and so it is. Amen.
It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. You can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, by and by. It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. You can all know everything without ever knowing how. It's in every one of us, here and now.
It is now time for our burning bowl ceremony. As we listen to our drummers guiding us in our efforts to release what no longer serves us, feel free to step up to the burning bowl on my left. You find two of them, and burn and release as a symbol of your willingness and readiness to renew your mind and heart. Again, we have our volunteers come around for those of you who would prefer to stay in your car, and we will collect your release papers if that is what you prefer. Honk at us if we miss you. Let us begin.
Tell your story. Roll the truth around your head. I'm bound for glory, and I ain't getting out of this bed. Sun comes struggling on. Yesterday's dead and gone. Tell your story. Put the night back in your veins. I'm bound for glory, and I ain't coming to again. Sun comes struggling on. Yesterday's dead and gone, and I feel I'm bound for glory. Oh, can you feel it? Bound for glory. Can you feel it? Glory bound. Can you feel it? Bound for glory. Tell your story. Roll that truth round in your head. We're all bound for glory, and I ain't getting out of this bed. Sun comes struggling on. Yesterday's dead and gone, and I feel I'm bound for glory, dreaming in a cowboy song. Feel I'm bound for glory. Oh, can you feel it? Bound for glory. Can you feel it? Glory bound. Can you feel it? Bound for glory. Oh, glory. Can you feel it? Bound for glory. Can you feel it? Glory bound. Can you feel it? Bound for glory. Oh, can you feel it? Oh, Lord, can you feel it? Glory Whoa, can you feel it? Oh, Lord, can you feel it? Lord, can you feel it? Glory
Thank you so much for coming tonight. This has been a special service, allowing to meet in person while taking care of our health and safety. So those of you who have come here in person, parking up, but also those of you who have watched the live stream, thank you all for joining us and helping each other to release. We hope that this service was meaningful to you, and we are looking forward to completing this renewal process with you this Sunday online with the White Stone ceremony. Have a wonderful new year. New Year's Eve first, and then New Year's Day. Stay safe. Namaste.